Hello and welcome back to the Off the Record DJ podcast. I believe it's episode 63, and in today's episode, it's time to become the complete DJ. When and should you upgrade this year? And 50% of us are going to Ibiza. Let's kick off another episode of the Off the Record podcast.
Music, industry talk, stories, equipment and more. We are Crossfader and this is Off the Record. Off the Record. Off the Record.
Yes, welcome back to another Off the Record, and there is 2/3 of us in the building. Danny is very selfish. He's gone on holiday. So we've sacked him. No, he's on holiday, enjoying himself in Greece. And Jamie's under the weather a little bit. He's been a bit ropey.
I hit a wall this week.
You hit a wall, haven't you?
I did, yeah. So
for Jamie not to come into work 2 days,
man.
that's a big deal.
This weekend, I was like, I feel something coming on, and then it just took me down. You know, when the flu just kicks in, the fever just went skyrocketing, and I was bedbound for 2 whole days. It's like in a little cave. Little caveman for 2 days, and you can probably hear it in my voice right now. Probably sound different to last week's podcast.
It's one of them. You're like, it's got kind of some sexy vibes going on.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm coming out the other side though. I say I'm like 80%, 90%.
My flight to Ibiza is in the morning, so keeping an arm's distance away, but all good. So Danny's away, and it's just me and Jamie today. So we have just gone live on YouTube, so welcome. Let us know where you're watching from as usual. And as of course, we want to interact with you. So if you're just joining us, get your questions in and we'll answer some questions. Big week for us this week. You will have seen on the socials, in your email, online, we launched our biggest ever product. I don't like it calling it a product because it's so valuable. But we launched a complete DJ package. And if you haven't seen what it is everything that we've kind of ever created in terms of an education standpoint in one complete sort of bundle. That is access to every single course we've ever made, which is currently at 23. It is access to all future courses we've ever made. So this is a one-time payment for the complete package, and you get access to the 23 courses that are already made by Crossfader, access to any course we ever make forever. That's forever. Somebody said, what if you not here next year? We'll be here, don't worry. We're going to be here for a long time. There's also 50 hours of bonus content. Now, this bonus content used to be in the DJ Hub, and what it is it's a catalogue of over 300 tutorials, and it's all sort of, you can also almost use them as mini courses. So you've got like social media action plans in there. You've got production, so like Serato Studio. You've got like video editing courses. You've got
mixed breakdowns, so many mixed breakdowns. Yeah. So it's that thing of, it's not necessarily like the chronological bulk A to Z course that you get with like, okay, I want to learn how to beat match and use my equipment and how to do X, Y, and Z. It's literally like being more creative, taking it further with certain genres, taking it further with certain techniques, and how to really like expand upon your journey as a DJ. Because what we figured out was that, okay, in the last, let's say 7 years of making online education, we've built these courses, and we've looked at, okay, what different products do people have, what different challenges do they have. We get a lot of beginner DJs starting their journey with us, and we've tried to cover all those aspects. And then we're looking at the rest of the journey. So after you've learned how to use your equipment, learn how to mix basically, and do some basic transitions and use some of the creative features, it's like, but then where do you go? There's DJs that want to really nail down into a specific niche. And then there's other DJs that want to play weddings and be able to like mash it up and mix between genres. And that's where things like our transitions courses come about. Yeah. Some DJs want to get more creative, like a Red Bull 3 style DJ. So we've made a scratching course so that you can introduce scratching into your DJ sets. And that's where all these courses came about. But then there's way more than that doesn't really fit into a course, but it works as this extra content. Yep. And that's where all this bonus content came from. And now we were at a point with Crossfader where we've kind of got that full learning journey. And I'm not saying there is a start and end to learning. There is not a start and end to learning. But we are going to continue making courses because there is more stuff to add in and amongst that. But we are confident now that you can take the complete package, which means that we can get you from bedroom right to club and fill in all those gaps along the way, you know, whether it's getting used to the club equipment with a CDJ Masterclass course, we've got that now. Whether it's getting your first gigs with a How to Get Gigs course, we've got that now. If you're thinking about how do I create content, we've got those mini courses inside the DJ Hub about how to film, how to edit. You know, literally it's not just about opening Record Box. It's about, like, we're teaching you how to use iMovie, you know, we're teaching you how to use Final Cut even, and how to make edits so that, you know, they work for social media with your content. But if you just want to mix some tunes, you know, we've got all the tutorials for that as well. So that's where it came about. And it's just because of the fact that, you know, we've been running for such a long time now, and we've built up so much content that we thought it's time to offer that in an unbelievable value.
We sort of had to look internally, like, you know, what is our overall goal? And that is to provide education to the widest amount of DJs, you know, possible. And this sort of, in a holistic sense, it's not sort of a one-time package thing. It's a package that grows with you over time. So, you know, you might change as a DJ. You know, you get people coming in, right, I'm a beginner, I'm learning this. I want to, you know, I've got a Flex 4, I want to learn on a Flex 4. And then they do that, and it's like, right, what's next? And the complete package is that next thing, and it will always be the next thing. So I want to kind of break it down. We're going to be going into a bit more about upgrading in a second, which is today's theme. But I want to sort of break down in 3 sections the sort of ethos of this complete package. So the first one is like structured access. I think a lot of people, there's a lot of education out there, you know, there's loads of things on YouTube, but you know as well as I know that learning on YouTube, it's sporadic, it's here, there, and everywhere. And, you know, people love courses. Obviously, we sell a lot of courses, so we know that people love courses. But then there becomes a friction in between, right, I've done this, now I need to do this. So, you know, like Jamie said, learning is continuous, like, development. So now it's like, right, I might be an intermediate. I might, you know how to do XYZ on my Flex 10. But what is it now? I'm struggling to get gigs. Okay, now I need to go and get this other thing. Whereas now is like all of these answers and all this friction has kind of been taken away in this sort of complete bundle. And like I say, it will never sort of stop growing with you. And the second one as well is, it's kind of like there's no more like excuses with this package. You know, we're all you know sort of in our learning journey on something like that, and there comes a time where you have to go sort of all in on something, and that depends on your kind of goal. But if you're you know, one of these people who kind of been learning on YouTube, and you've had a few gigs, or you know, you're not getting something consistent, or you're trying to leave your job, or you've just left college, and you know you wanted to get into the DJ game, this is kind of that might be this kind of like sign or this product which is like, right, I'm all in now with this. There's no excuses. I'm not going to finish a course and then worry about, you know, trying to find money for the next course or something like that. This is like the sign to be like all in on it. And then, like I said, I've said it before, but stage 3 is like, it grows with you over time. So you get access to all of the future courses. So just to let you know, full disclosure, this year, there will be a music management course and a stems course, like a sort of advanced way to use stems. They're already started building. Music management's probably be out in a month, and then stems back end of the year. So even then, that's 2 courses, right? Yeah. So if you're going
that comes off the back of, like, you know, speaking to, you know, the students that we already have and the customers we already have, and listening to you guys. It's the thing of, like, we already have some music management, you know, within our paid education, and some basic music management, how to go around sorting your music out. And we already have some basic tutorials on stems. You know, we update the courses, but we realize that, like, these are parts of the industry that they need, you know, we want to dedicate a full, you know, chronological course to this, and put lots of, you know, cover the wide spectrum that is available there, and that you need to think about. And that's where, we're still going to be creating courses, and we're excited that we just get to give these courses to people that are basically complete package customers. And it's like, you know, we're if people invest in Crossfader, we're just investing right back into you, and that's all it is really, is you know, just we want to provide as much value as possible.
100%. Right, guys, if you are watching live on YouTube, any questions you've got, Jamie's checking your questions online. We're going to get to a questions section at the end of the show. So anything to do with your controller, anything to do with a complete DJ package, if you want to know what's inside it, or if you need to know more info, if you've got anything sort of hardware related, software related, let us know. If you've got anything, you know, career wise that you want to know, let us know, and we'll get to some questions at the end. Right, so I want to read out a really cool message that we had from one of our Crossfader students, because it's just a really, really good message. So this is from, I think it said Alfie, but it says, hello, I thought I'd give everyone a small insight to how I became a club DJ 6 months into my journey. Last January, I started to DJ mainly drum and bass and a bit of K-pop on the side. I visited K-pop parties here in Germany, and one day, 4 or 5 days before the event, I wrote to the organizer on Instagram and I said, hey, I'm a bedroom DJ and I just wanted to mix sort of 4 or 5 songs at your next event just to get the feeling how it is. I'm a regular visitor to your parties and I love them a lot, and I've attached this video. Now, this is insane because this is literally like the advice that we put out there, like in our, was it the recent newsletter that went out? But the recent YouTube video we did was called Bedroom to Club DJ, right? And this is like the first tip in it, like the first tip. So amazing. So he's wrote to, and he's attached the video showing that he goes to these parties and he loves these parties. He's also sent him a mix that he did, like 45-minute mix that was on YouTube. He said it didn't have any views or anything, but it just showed that he could mix. Again, social proof, second box ticked. The organizer wrote back 4 hours or so ago and said, your transitions are pretty solid. How about you come and try and do the warm-up for us? I instantly wrote, yes, of course, that would be incredible. I did the warm-up, totally new controller. I made some big mistakes, but the organizer came to me and said, I want you for my warm-up next week too. I can't tell you how amazing that feeling was. Anyway, 3 weeks later, he asked me for my number. He gave me a call. He asked if I wanted to become the resident DJ for them, besides the DJ there. I was like, yep, amazing. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Amazing. Thank you so much. Fast forward a year from now, I am a resident DJ for a K-pop organizer here in Germany and play for them most of the times. Not just the warm-up, but I'm the main DJ now. I love it. Long story short, put your work and skills out there. Put yourself on a table. Be open. Take the initiative, and people will start to book you.
100%.
Hey, one of these. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to hear a success story because it gives you, a bit of like that back in that you think I can do that too, yeah. But, and this is why it's good to read these things out and to hear these stories, and then when it happens to you, to share the stories, because you never know who's listening and who's going to take that upon themselves to go out there and just make that first step. And like this person did, is just putting yourself out there. Yeah. And then what you can do is, a year later, look back and think, if I hadn't have done that one thing that year ago, like all these other steps might not have happened. Mm-hmm. And it is that like butterfly effect, you know, it's one thing that causes a big long chain reaction. And if you never do that one thing, then you might not start that chain reaction. And I think that's kind of where it comes back to. Yeah. And I know a lot of people have a hurdle to get over with that. They're like, am I good enough? Am I ready? Is this the right time? Or some people are like, I am good enough and I'm doing all the right things, and they get too in the head about it, like, but I should be further, and so there's both sides to it here. Sure.
This is a point I want to touch on because when you start putting your mixes out there and things like that, very early on, you're not going to get any sort of feedback, and it's going to be a slow burner to sort of, get a fan base or get any traction. And what you've got to kind of switch your mindset to is you've got to fall in love with the process as opposed to the outcome. So you're not necessarily in control of the outcome, like how many likes you get, for example, on a post or something like that. But what you can do is your goals need to shift from, I need to get 30 likes on this post, otherwise that's a failure. My mix didn't get more than 1,000 plays, so that I'm doing the same thing as this guy. He's getting 10,000. That's not the shift. You need to be like, I am going to post 5 mixes this week. That's it. Whatever be will be. I'm going to upload to my Instagram story 3 times this week. I'm going to create 1 YouTube video this week. That's it. Tick. And then it's out there, and it's on to like the next goal that you can control. And I think that, like this person, once you've got the repetition and the reps of doing this over and over again, all of a sudden you look back and you're like, oh my God, I've got all this content here. I can start reaching out, and like I said, once you're consistent with it, you'd be so surprised how many sort of interactions you get back from it. And like I say, you never quite know who's watching. You can always look at look at what you consume yourself as well. Yeah. So like, okay, let's say you're into anything. Look at your feed, right? What are the things that are being shown to you on your feed? What's getting put in front of you? You've obviously got an interest in that
for it to be put in front of you. And then look at those videos; they've probably got thousands of likes, and not just random videos that look naff like they only have 1 or 2 likes. Like they've probably got thousands of likes and views, and there's a reason for that. And if you go on that person's profile, you'll see that they're probably following like a theme and a structure. And if you look at the upload dates, there's probably regular stuff going out, and there's like structure to that. And I think there's a lot to be said, like you say, about keeping that consistency. We talk about it a lot on the podcast. You'll have heard it a lot from us. But it is that thing of just setting yourself that thing of, okay, I'm not going to look at the metric that I get back. I'm going to look at the output that I put in.
Output, yeah.
You know,
and
that,
the journey.
Yeah, exactly that. I had someone message me personally, totally separate to DJing, saying, have you ever accomplished like a dream in your life? And then when you actually do it, it's a bit underwhelming.
Oh, yeah.
And I replied and I was like, you know what? Yeah, it's frustrating when that happens. And I think you've got to fall in love with the journey, just like Lauren said. And
100%.
you've got to then look back and think, well, what were all the little moments that got me to that dream? And what were all the enjoyable parts, those little moments that make up the dream? It's not the actual end goal. It's all the little things that get you there. Getting, falling in love with the process is a big part.
Not to get too philosophical, but I felt like there was something like a study about, when are you most happy on going on holiday or vacation? And most people are happiest like the week before, because it's like the planning, you're getting excited, the anticipation. And then like halfway into your vacation, you're already thinking about, oh my God, I've got to go home in a few days, right? So again,
tell yourself that story instead of being
like,
I've got another 3 days here. You're like, oh, I've only got another 3 days here.
Amazing. Right, guys, on today's theme, we're just talking about upgrading and the sort of 2 levels with it. When should you upgrade as a DJ? It's one, upgrading sort of your mindset shift, and then 2, upgrading like your equipment as well. So let us know in the comments if you've upgraded any of your DJ equipment. I put this to the Crossfader community, and we'll read some of those out as well. So the 2 levels to sort of upgrading as a DJ, and what you can kind of think about for the next month, 6 months, a year, is you can upgrade your mindset and you can upgrade your equipment. So a few questions you want to ask yourself when you're sort of upgrading your mindset to sort of achieve more. We talked about the complete package. If you buy the complete package, that would be a mindset shift as to like, right, I am now going to start a step towards my goal, right? So the first thing, I'm going to ask you a few questions, and you can answer these in the chat if you're watching live, and you can answer these if you're listening, wherever you're listening. The first one will be like, when changing your, we're talking about like falling in love with the journey. When was the last time like you practiced, for example? So if you're thinking, I've not got so many gigs, or, I'm not getting any traction online or anything like that, when did you take the time to practice? First of all, like I was in the studio the other day and I saw some vinyl out, and I put some vinyl on some turntables, and I was just in there for an hour just practicing, and it was amazing. But I think you can fall into a habit of, I know how to mix, so why do I need to sort of practice? But again, I think just keeping your mindset fresh. Second question is, when was the last time you sort of posted anything? So it's like, okay, can I dedicate some time this week into a bit of practice, and then can I put that practice into hitting record, and then I've got some social proof to put out there. So you're making use of your time. So the mindset shift into upgrading is, okay, I want to get a few more gigs, or I need a bit more online traction, start practicing more, and I can start posting a bit more at the same time. When was the last time you reached out to somebody new? So when was the last time you reached out to a promoter? I had this last week. Somebody liked one of my DJ posts, and it's a promoter I've not seen for ages. Messaged him saying, how are you? He's like, oh, great, how's things going? I said, great, how's Crossfader? Blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, he's like, by the way, are you free for a gig in Brighton next week? And I was like, I'm away, but thank you. And, that was from one interaction. So putting yourself out there, and all this process, by the way, is like linear. So, taking the time to practice, leveling up your skills, then starting to post something, filming yourself practicing, posting that, then you're using that post to like reach out to somebody new, try and research people in your area. If you type in the club, there'll be managers and stuff tagged on all the pages, or go on LinkedIn or something like that. 4 ties in with the practice. When was the last time you experimented? So if you're just playing sort of house every weekend, just record an R&B set in your hip hop set in your your bedroom, and just get out
take yourself out of your own comfort zone.
100%, yeah. Even if you don't sort of like it, force yourself to, how can I make this genre like more enjoyable for me? I play a lot of house, but I use a lot of sort of hip hop acapellas because I love hip hop. So you can sort of merge the two. And then the last one would be like, are you actually sort of open to continuous growth, because I think that if you've got a few gigs, you're sort of comfortable, you just be like sort of stuck at a certain level, and this is what we're talking about with the complete packages. Like, if you get that package, you are committing to something more. If you're happy, sort of, you've got a couple of gigs on a weekend, you've got a job through the week, that's cool. But like, are you sort of open to upgrade your mindset shift to actually focus more on your sort of end goal, and write down that end goal as well? Like, write down what you actually want to achieve by it. Is it just some extra money on a weekend, or do I want to like leave my job? So
I'm going to put my attention into this upgrading mindset as well, because I think it comes to this thing of like complacency can be a killer. Like, if you feel comfortable right now in your career as a DJ, it's not actually the best place to be, because when you're comfortable, that's when cracks start to form. And I think you've always got to, you'll always get to that next step if you're looking towards that next step. And I think when you get comfortable, and we've been through this in our careers many times, you're like, all I want is like one regular gig that pays me well. And then you get that one regular gig. And if you just go, I am happy now, I've got what I wanted, it can get taken away like that. So then it's like, you look, I want two. I want two. And then, we get to the point where I'm working 6 nights a week, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then I'll just coast with that. And then suddenly you might lose 3 gigs like that. And you're like, oh, actually, I've just lost half my wage.
Happened to me.
Like, half my income's just disappeared. It's like I've just been like demoted to like, the bottom of the company. And that's what can happen. Literally, that is what can happen. So don't get too comfortable. And that's where upgrading your mindset comes in, of being like, do I just feel like I'm just going with the flow and enjoying life at the moment? That's great. But if I feel like that, what area can I upgrade, in this like career of mine, and go, okay, let's cause a bit of discomfort here and like put myself out there.
100%.
Start making music, put myself out there to, still reach out to higher ticket networkers or bigger event club promoters. If you've got a good, range of bookings already, don't just think, well, that's the top of the game. Think, can I leverage my bookings against even better ones and even better promoters? Like, if I go to a promoter now and say, look where I'm playing, like, there's 1,000 people in here a week and it's rocking, but I do really want to come and play for you guys, plant that seed, and it might not happen straight away, but you're in a good position then, because you can kind of use that as a card to play. At the end of the day, you've got to play some cards as you're going through. So that, upgrading mindset, that's where.
But like you said, like this complacency thing, like, so like I said at the top of the show, I'm going to Beat Rocks this weekend, playing at like a pool party, really excited. And I'm going through my set list. I was looking at tracks for the last couple of days, and I'm going through my set list, and I'm experienced enough. I know what I can play to sort of get a crowd reaction. But what I was doing, I was coming across and making some random sort of mashups and really sort of interesting bootlegs. And anytime I thought, can I play this? That's when I knew I had something. So like some sort of like edits you make, and you're like, I don't know about that. I was like, I'm leaning into this now, because that sort of scares me. Like, am I going to get some like funny looks, or is it right for the night?
I saw a video on Instagram of someone playing Rumble.
And it went into
the birdie song or whatever.
Into Rumble. And
but in a festival, this is at a festival, right?
But if it had just played Rumble, you'll have never seen that.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have never seen that clip.
It got an extra huge reaction, because it's a meme thing at the end of the day. It's like it's taking a piss, but that creates an experience, and it's not taking it too seriously as well. And that's exactly when you tap in, you think, should I do this? Like,
is this all right to play or something? Like,
am I going to get judged?
Yeah, exactly.
Find that line.
Yeah.
Tread on that line.
And it's like, I know that, it might be too far, but then the next song I'll just play like the new Drake song, and everyone's like, all right, I've forgotten about it. Like, and like nothing happens as well. Like, nothing happens. Any event, like, I've, like I said, we Part Life, like last weekend, we were seeing Giotti. She played like some like techno song, and then she just played, was it Barbie Girl or something random? Or was it Barbie something like Venga Boys or something? And that's what I remember, right? So right. Let's move on to upgrading your hardware then, because I know a lot of people were upgrading. I put a post out actually asking people what their sort of upgrades were in the last 12 months. And there's a few things you need to know about when you're sort of either thinking about upgrading. So let me get the post up here. So we've got a few people from the community. So
There's a few people as well asking in the comments live about the Prime 4 Plus and whether they should get the Prime 4, the Prime 4 Plus.
Okay.
I'll talk about the Prime 4 Plus in and amongst this conversation of upgrading now, definitely.
So
Fire away,
so
though.
Peter upgraded from a DDJ 800 to a Flex 10. Good. We can judge these as well on good or bad upgrades. Right? Good upgrade. Good upgrade. The 800 was always a bit of a, for lack of a better word, a bit of a nothing controller. It kind of doesn't really sit anywhere. But yeah,
someone asked in here about. You keep going. I'll come back to it.
DDJ 200 to Flex 4. Very small upgrade, but still, in my opinion, an upgrade. For sure. So many more features you get, and that's just a very easy thing to do as well.
Yeah. Someone said here, Justina said, if you had to choose between the Flex 6 and the DDJ 800, which one would you buy to unlock some creativity?
Okay.
So, build quality, much, much better on the 800.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Flex 6 has 4 channels, so that allows a bit more creativity if you're a confident enough DJ for it.
But I've just been using it for a video, and it's just not great. It's very like...
We've never enjoyed it.
It's just
that
something
much.
I just don't get on with it at the Flex 6. I just haven't, but some people...
Look, we're in a privileged position where
privileged.
we get to play on all the Pioneer gear. So the Flex 6 isn't a bad controller.
No.
It's just that thing of like,
We're
I wish it
comparing
wasn't built like a Flex 4.
Yeah.
I wish it was built more like an 800.
It's
weird.
Somebody has gone, I'd say backwards, but somebody had an RX2 and has now got a Flex 4. And I noticed somebody swapped their RX3 for a Flex 4 because they were going traveling.
That makes sense.
So there's a few issues like that. We have DDJ 400 to CDJs. Hello, big upgrade.
Yeah.
We've got, what else have we got here? We've got DDJ SX to a 1000. Good upgrade. Hercules 500 to Rain 1. Nice.
All right.
400 to Flex 10. A lot of Flex 10s actually going around.
Yeah, someone else said Flex 10 on here as well.
A tractor. Just bought my first tractor M3. Upgraded from 200 to Flex 4 again. So yeah, a lot of people going for the Flex 4. XDJ RX2 to RX3. So when you're thinking about upgrading, there's 5 things you will make your sort of purchasing decision. So the first one will be the hardware limitations. So, we're talking about going from a 200 to a Flex 4, for example, is a great example because, you would think it's only, another $80 or something. How much can it have? But it opens the doors to Serato and Record Box. It opens the door to being able to use a microphone. It opens the door to, you can now use the app on both of them, can't you?
Yeah.
But obviously it's sort of bigger jog wheels, few more onboard features. And again, it's just the level of creativity. You are very limited on the 200. It's very limiting.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, it's just not easy to like switch between pad modes.
Yeah,
there's not an effects channel on it even. So it is a big upgrade. To be honest, I think it's a very good upgrade. Is a 200 to the Flex 4. The
second thing you want to look at is if you've reached your sort of end goal with it. So it's like, right, I just want to start DJing. I've watched the Crossfader video. I'm inspired. I've only got $150. So yeah, let me get a DDJ 200. And, I take a course, I finished it, all right, I can mix now. That's the end goal. You can't really progress anywhere with that. So then you're going to have to be like, right, now I need to get something. I'm confident with mixing. I need to get something. Or if you've got a 400 and you're like, I'm getting booked for like weddings now. I need to upgrade. I need professional outputs. I need this to be able to have streaming inbuilt. I need to have it standalone. Then you would go and upgrade because you're required to.
You're limited by the hardware that you own.
Yes, exactly.
And those inputs and outputs, it is important. And you don't. Yeah. If you're just starting out in your bedroom, you don't need to think about it really. You can just get the most basic thing. But definitely, if like the end goal is to be taking that equipment out and plugging it into bigger speakers, you need some powered outputs there. Some outputs that are going to handle bigger speakers, and that's like your XLR outputs, not the little red and white RCAs.
Yep. The third one, again, performance features again. So if you're sort of limiting, like if you're on a Flex 4 or something, you can switch up to something. So you go to like an S7 and you're on turntable or something. Then you start to introduce like pitch play, like beat, different beat loop patterns and things like that. And there's touch effects on screens and all this kind of stuff. That's when you're like, that's the more kind of creative element. You're like, okay, I just need a new lease of life creatively. So, you look at like the new sort of Prime 4 Plus that has like touch effects and you're like, yeah, I'd rather, that would keep me excited. So something like performance features would be a deciding factor on if you should upgrade your equipment. Yeah. The 4, go for it.
I mean, let's just let's finish the 5 things, and then we'll come back to the Prime 4 Plus.
4 is new technology, so things like stems on board, like that would be like one of the reasons, and like moving platters on like the Rain 1 and the Rev 7. So any new technology that comes out may force your hand a little bit. You may be like, I'm actually getting left behind here now. I need to be sort of keeping up with everyone doing all these crazy transitions and things like that. And stuff like like streaming on board. That's new technology that's fairly recent. That can take the headache away if you're a sort of wedding DJ or something like that. If you get a Prime 4 Plus, you've got streaming there, amazing. That's new technology that can really sort of help you out. And then the last one is just because you want to.
Is that
just because you want to. Sometimes you just like for me, like I would, if I was going to get something, I'd probably get an Opus Quad. Don't really need one, but love the look, something unique, and I just want one, right? Not gonna get one, guys, but it's just because I'd want one.
Lavish
I don't really have any necessity for it, but I just like to have one in my bedroom. Right?
I think there is one more as well here. Is sometimes people have issues with the products.
Oh yeah, true.
It might be that they're not happy with the way it performs, or it doesn't perform in the right way for their needs. And it's not like they need more. They don't need to like spend more money is what I'm trying to say. They don't need to like upgrade as in like, okay, I need to buy the next most expensive thing. It's more like this product doesn't suit my needs of what I actually thought it was going to do. Or actually, I've bought this product and it keeps like crashing on me and stuff. And I'm not pointing any fingers here. CDJs crash.
Yeah, for sure.
Denon gear crashes.
Sure.
All equipment that has technology in it, like your laptop, crashes.
Yeah.
But again, that's where maybe your laptop, for example, was great 3 years ago and it ran everything perfectly. But actually now you want to use, more powerful processing to do some of these more advanced technological things like real-time stem separation. And that is where that upgrade comes in of like, actually, I need to upgrade to unlock that power. It's not even just in the DJ equipment that you got to think about that upgrade. It's like, what's my DJ equipment connected to? Is it just your USB stick? Is it like falling apart? Reliability. Yeah. Is it going to fall apart on the next gig? Don't wait until it falls apart. Just upgrade it now and make sure it's reliable. So are your wires looking a bit tattered? Like maybe it's time to get some new wires. So don't always think about like the big latest release. Sometimes it's like the little things like my headphone cup like is annoying me to death. It keeps falling off every time I take it off my head. Like maybe it's time to just get a new pair of headphones.
Mate.
Don't not get headphones, but get the latest DJ gear. So that's Anyway, Prime 4 Plus.
Oh, go for it. Go for Prime 4.
Obviously, everyone knows, hopefully should know by now that Prime 4 Plus is out because it got released. And we were told not to say anything about the stems because they wanted to bring that, announce that later because it wasn't quite ready yet. And then when they announced the Prime 4 Plus, some of the retail partners that sell the product announced that stems would be in it. So then the company came back, we're like, oh, it's out there. Sorry for all the messing about. We're going to now announce this earlier. I was in bed, ill. And we're used to turning stuff around on a short time frame, and we do like to get reviews out nice and quick. And we will have a full review on the Prime 4 Plus. We've had it, and I've tested the stems, and I've been testing the product, but I thought we had a few more weeks until it was going to get released, and then I just got ill. So next week, I'm going to work on a bit of a review for it. People are asking in the comments, so like, would you buy the Prime 4 or the Prime 4 Plus? Now, as it stands, stems, from what I'm being told, is only going to be available to begin with. I don't know if it's going to get rolled out, but it's only going to be available on the Prime 4 Plus. And that's only a beta version that's coming after it's like sometime in summer. So even on the Prime 4 Plus, you're not getting like the full product yet. So future-proofing yourself, get the Prime 4 Plus, don't get the Prime 4.
Or just wait to see how good stems are.
I mean, you probably heard them. There's other people out there that have done examples. But yeah, this is the thing. It's so hard. I mean, I'm going to talk about it in the main review. I'll leave it for the main review. Let's get into it.
Right, quick game for Jamie, and then we'll take some questions. All right?
Right, I need your help, people that are listening live, because I'm terrible at these games.
If you've listened before, we're doing the 8-bit game. There's a few 8-bit tracks on here. If you don't know what an 8-bit is, then it's this. Oh,
Oh, are we doing this again? Is this what's happening again?
Why does it every time? We test the music, right? We'll test the music, guys, in here.
We test it before,
and then
it works.
we play, and then it says connect to. I don't want to connect to a device. I want to play the song. Right? Well, we had to close it before, didn't we? Maybe we should do some questions first.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I've got some questions.
Look, while you're trying, technical issues.
Why?
Maybe we need to do an episode actually on technical issues when you're DJing, because it is a very big thing.
Oh, we're in, right. So this is an 8-bit song, right? So it's kind of been, it sounds like a computer game, right? So that song, do you know that one?
We walk on this. Lean on,
lean
Major
on.
Lazer.
Right, we're not started yet.
Dang it.
Right, but that's an 8-bit one, right? So you can play along if you're listening. So let's do a few 8-bit songs, and I think you'll get all these. I've actually not listened to them. I've just saved them into a playlist. And let's try this one. Come on.
Can't touch this. Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Nope.
No. Can't touch this.
MC.
Hammer.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Screwdriver. Nail. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got back.
No, it was You Can't Touch This. You got it right. You got the song right.
Who's Sir Mix? What does Sir
MC
Mix-a-Lot
Hammer.
do?
Baby Got Back. He does Baby Got Back.
All right.
Sir Mix-a-Lot is Baby Got Back.
Yeah, I think I'm like mashing these two songs up in my head.
Yeah, you are 100%. Right, let's do this one.
Oh. Gorillas.
Yes.
And I'm happy.
Yeah.
Feeling good. I got sunshine. Is it Clint Eastwood?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Do you know what? Do you know why I found that one tricky? Is because I'm so used to playing the Ed Case.
The
Which
remix.
remix it Clint?
Yeah.
The remix of it that's like 136 BPM. It's way
Ed
faster. Yeah. A garage remix.
Oh, that's
Eurythmics.
yes.
Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams.
You know what? I'm gutted Danny's not here because I
Yeah.
feel like this is my round.
Yeah. Oh. That sounds like
There's an alarm in the building. Everyone evacuate. Get out of the building.
Oh God, that is not great, is it? Do you know what that is? You won't get it.
I don't know what that is. It sounds like a nightmare.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. That intro was whack. Go on it. Yeah.
Daft Punk. Harder, better, faster, stronger.
Yeah, God, that intro.
Whoa.
You guys have not got headphones on, I hope, because geez, that
My
was
stress level's just gone up.
that wasn't fun, was it? Ooh, Danny would have got that now.
Oh, Macklemore.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song? Macklemore and
Get to chorus.
Where Do We Go Back?
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah.
moment. What's it called?
Can't hold us.
Can't Hold Us. Do you know what I loved about that track? Is it's around like the drum and bass BPM. Is it a bit slower?
It's about 155.
Yeah,
something like that.
I used to always kind of like use that to nudge myself over to drum and bass.
Yeah, I always use Black Eyed Peas Pump It as well.
Yeah.
Let's
Chelsea Dagger.
Okay. Oh, this is actually fire. This.
It's so annoying. I know it.
Wait. It's not started yet. Here we go.
I'm like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Stop it. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. Oh.
This is actually flames.
Right, what's the comment saying?
Yeah, someone's got it.
Trap Queen.
Yeah, Trap Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Is it a chorus?
You know what? DJ Shane Bond is always on it.
Oh, that is flames.
Trap
Right,
Queen,
we'll
what a vibe.
We'll do one more and maybe two more. This is a good one. You should get that.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'll do the first second again.
There was a time. Don't worry, child.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, child.
Don't you worry.
Swedish House Mafia. Yeah. There was a time.
Wow. That is fire. Right, old school to finish. don't know if you'll get that. Wait a minute. Go.
This is hard.
Yeah, it is. It's very old school. Is it even the right track? Oh yeah, it is. Legend, like icon. Slow jam.
No.
What's that? Not gonna get that.
I do recognise it, but
You're gonna kick yourself. Has anyone got it? Has anyone got it?
they're a bit delayed, aren't they?
Right. I'll give you it.
Go on.
Prince.
Oh.
Purple Rain. Oh. Yes. Well done.
Do you know what? I think it's harder when they're slower because it kind of
Yeah.
like draws out the notes
it
a
does,
bit.
doesn't
I'm
it?
not
It does.
sure.
It does. Right. Guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, please like and subscribe and leave a little comment if that's what you want to do. But yeah, please like and subscribe. That would be amazing. And we're going to end on some questions.
Yeah, man. So, if you've only just tuned in, as you can hear, I sound a bit
ropey.
sexy. No, I've been a bit ill. So someone asked, so big question, what do you do when you have an important gig and you're super sick?
You know what?
It's
You
good
know
to have
what?
some good cover.
For lack of a better word, man up.
Yeah.
Like a joke in the office is I've been sick about once in my whole life. Like it's very weird when you sort of work, like if you're just doing it solo, like you'll find ways to show up because there's no like sick pay or anything. Like you just have to get up and on with it. But you know, it is one of them things. It's a bit like being hungover at a gig. It's like you just gotta get through it. Like obviously it depends. Like if you
literally can't get out of bed,
can't get out of bed. But I mean, you know, have a word with yourself. Have you got a cold or have you got a flu?
Can you dose yourself up on some like paracetamol?
Yeah. Take some sweets with you. Keep your sugar levels up.
And then rest all your downtime.
Yeah, but you, like I say, when you're working for yourself, you find ways to get yourself there for sure.
Yeah, so Ian Stoddard, shout out. Hey guys, signed up for the complete DJ package today. Looking forward to working through the huge content library.
Yeah.
Also said, just having a look through the hub, loads of good stuff in there. Is that content exclusive to complete DJ package owners? Yes.
It is.
It is.
That is the bonus content in
That
there,
is,
which
yeah.
is now it's sort of broken down into, again, sort of mini courses. Like Jamie said, they're not, some of them are structured, like some of like the social media action plans and like the Serato Studio and the how to make video edits or DJs. There's a load of structured learning in there, almost like mini courses. And then there's a lot of like, how to mix like DJ EZ, for example. It's like, let's see how to do his technique. And then there's like genre specific. So like, you know, how to go from like hard style into trance and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So that's all the kind of bonus bolt-on stuff with it, as well as the like structured courses.
This is a fair point, and people might notice. Michael said, "Hi Jamie, talking about this new engine update. Why don't you make the advanced course for the Prime 4? I've already bought the beginner and intermediate ones from you." So you'll notice on our website we don't have advanced courses now. Years and years ago, we used to do beginner and advanced.
Beginner, intermediate, advanced.
Well, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then and then it got to the point where like actually when. Yeah. The learning journey, what we found is people learn like the basics of DJing and mixing and then the basics of their equipment and software. And then they learn the more advanced, well, you say advanced stuff like the creative features of the software. So performance pads, effects, things like that. And once you've learned like what all the buttons of your hardware do and how to use them practically in the mix and then how to do some common, slightly creative mixing techniques, people's journeys kind of spurt off in all different directions. Sure. And we found that to create an advanced course, it was hard to cater for everyone who had taken a beginner and intermediate. Yeah. And this is where like this extra bonus content that we keep talking about came from, is we put more advanced techniques into this bonus content and the DJ Hub area of the complete package, because people don't necessarily go down one route or another. Some people might be like just into certain genres, just into a certain style of DJing, just really want to like focus in on more about their like management of music and things like that. So, we've really tried to categorize it. We've got like a tech category, we've got a DJ tutorials, a mix breakdown category, even a discussion category. And we felt like the advanced tuition really like spread out across all of these different things. But, you know, it's not to say in the future we won't create advanced courses, but I think it'll be a fluid, ongoing thing. I'd rather create an area that we can constantly keep, you know, adding new advanced techniques to that everyone can kind of pick from. Because if you know what a hot cue is on a Denon DJ Prime 4, you know, and how to use it, you know, and the same goes for someone that's got a Pioneer piece of gear. I don't want to create a course that's like, and this is a hot cue, and this is how you use it. It's like, we're going to use the hot cues in this way, okay? XYZ, you know, rather than like explaining the equipment every time. It's more about like the output of the mixing. So that's the thought process around it.
Yep.
Yep, cool. Jamie, you sound like you've smoked a couple of packs of Marlboro Reds.
Just trying something new.
Someone asked, do we have a production course? We don't have a specific production course. You might have heard earlier in the podcast, we said we've got a Serato Studio course, which is a music production piece of software.
But for DJs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a bit of, it's kind of an entry level into music production is the course that we've got inside the bonus content area of the complete package. It explains how to use the software, how to create basic mashups, edits, DJ edits on it, and then also to start introducing your own, like, making your own sort of remix by introducing your own drums, chopping, you know, tracks up and adding your own elements in there and samples in there as well from different tracks. So it's kind of like a good entry into music production. But no, we don't offer a music production course. Okay, this is a good one.
Yep.
Hello guys, I'm a complete noob, but play many instruments over 20 years, but want to DJ as a hobby. Just ordered a Pioneer DDJ Flex 6 GT. Good start. It's a good place to start. It is a good place to start.
People just know that I've got beef for the Flex 6. Yeah. But like, don't let that put you off. I mean, you've already bought it. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's rubbish. It's a great place to start, to be fair. It really is.
Question.
Yeah.
How can a DJ utilize their equipment's features, especially when it's expensive and has unique properties? I have a controller, 4 CDJs, and 2 vinyl players.
How can a DJ utilize equipment? Well, again, like Jamie's been saying, what you'll find is when you get to a certain level, there's like just after that beginner level where you're learning about phrasing and beat matching and timing, then it's where that sort of intermediate level comes in where you're performing and using performance features. So all the equipment you've got there, once you've sort of got to that intermediate level, like Jamie was saying, that's where sort of our sort of bonus stuff comes in with the inside of that complete package. So all of the kind of tips and tricks that you need to sort of either keep yourself engaged or to go to that next level. There's like 50 hours worth of content in the bonus.
Right, I just want to shout out some people. So delayed reaction, not related to the video so much, but wanted to say thanks for all the videos. Been watching them a lot lately, and they've been a massive help. What's up? Justino as well. Shout out. Will remember Crossfader and all what they teach me, and be very grateful for all I learned because of them. Yes, respect, and a big shout out to DJ V. He says he's been focusing on YouTube for the last 12 months, loading 1 to 2 mixes per week, and finally the algorithm is helping.
Yeah.
Now got 4,000 subs.
That's hard.
And growing, and love helping people feel good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big up.
Bravo.
Sounds like he's fallen in love with the journey rather than the outcome. Like, well done, mate. Yes. Amazing. So we'll be back next week with a full team, depending on if I survive Ibiza or not. But just remember, the complete package is live. We've talked about it enough, but go and check it out for yourself. See what you think. If you've got any questions, feel free to email us. Feel free to DM us. And like I said, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment on this podcast because it really, really helps out. Yeah. See you next week.
Peace.